Hey, so I'm going to finish reading Neville Goddard, Feeling is the Secret. Chapter 1 is really pretty amazing, and I did that one on the last video, so I'll link to that below. I'm going to finish up the last 3 chapters here, which are pretty short. We read the first 21 pages of this 48-page PDF, which I will also link below, yesterday. By we, I mean me. And today I'm going to finish this for everybody. So let's just get right into it. Chapter 2, Sleep. Sleep. The life that occupies 1/3 of our stay on earth is the natural door into the subconscious. So it is with sleep that we are now concerned. The conscious 2/3 of our life on earth is measured by the degree of attention we give sleep. Our understanding of and delight in what sleep has to bestow will cause us, night after night, to set out for it as though we were keeping an appointment with a lover. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, in slumbering upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instruction. That is a Bible verse. Go ahead and look at the PDF below if you want to read those. It is in sleep and in prayer, a state akin to sleep, that man enters the subconscious to make his impressions and receive his instructions. In these states, the conscious and subconscious are creatively joined. Hold on, I want to pause for a second. It is in sleep, blah, 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 receive his instructions. This is one of the main ways that I have been led in manifestations. I think I've mentioned this here before. I'm sure I have in 10 billion videos. Often the thing that I need to do, the thing that is eluding me, is there in the darkness in like the first 30 seconds that I wake up in the morning. So this happens. I just wanted to stop and tell you that in case you've never had that experience. If you have like a problem that you're trying to solve, and you're trying to solve it from the human scarcity earth level, and you're just looking at all the things that you're able to perceive and you cannot see a solution, or you see something and you've rejected it, a solution that would work, but you don't want to do it for some reason, you will probably find that you have this experience when you start to open up to these ideas of, what Neville will discuss in a minute here, but you'll find that you receive these instructions. You'll wake up the next day and you'll go, oh, that one solution that I rejected yesterday, I think that would actually work. There was something I didn't like about it, but I realize now that that was like a misperception. That was like something, that was an error on my part. Anyway, it's amazing. So in these states, the conscious and subconscious are creatively joined. The male and female become one flesh. Sleep is the time when the male or conscious mind turns from the world of sense to seek its lover or subconscious self. The subconscious, unlike the woman of the world who marries her husband to change him, has no desire to change the conscious waking state, but loves it as it is and faithfully reproduces its likeness in the outer world of form. The conditions and events of your life are your children, formed from the molds of your subconscious impressions in sleep. They are made in the image and likeness of your innermost feeling, that they may reveal you to yourself. As in heaven, so on earth. As in the subconscious, so on earth. Whatever you have in consciousness as you go to sleep is the measure of your expression in the waking 2/3 of your life on earth. Nothing stops you from realizing your objective, save your failure to feel that you are already that which you wish to be, or that you already are in possession of the thing sought. Your subconscious gives form to your desires only when you feel your wish fulfilled. The unconscious of sleep is the normal state of the subconscious. Because all things come from within yourself, and your conception of yourself determines that which comes, you should always feel the wish fulfilled before you drop off to sleep. You never draw out of the deep of yourself that which you want. You always draw that which you are. And you are that which you feel yourself to be, as well as that which you feel as true of others. Does this sound anything like A Course in Miracles, everybody? To be realized then, the wish must be resolved into the feeling of being or having or witnessing the state sought. This is accomplished by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. The feeling which comes in response to the question, how would I feel were my wish realized, is the feeling which should monopolize and immobilize your attention as you relax into sleep. You must be in the consciousness of being or having that which you want to be or have before you drop off to sleep. Once asleep, man has no freedom of choice. His entire slumber is dominated by his last waking concept of self. It follows, therefore, that he should always assume the feeling of accomplishment and satisfaction before he tires in sleep. Come before me with singing and thanksgiving. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving and into his courts with praise. Bible verses. Your mood prior to sleep defines your state of consciousness as you enter into the presence of your everlasting lover, the subconscious. She sees you exactly as you feel yourself to be. If, as you prepare for sleep, you assume and maintain the consciousness of success by feeling, I am successful, you must be successful. Lie flat on your back with your head on a level with your body. Feel as you would were you in possession of your wish, and quietly relax into unconsciousness. Pause. I will try to find the video. I did this for a couple of weeks. I didn't really want anything. I just went to bed every night. And this was not easy, by the way. This all sounds so easy. Try going to bed after you've had kind of a annoying evening, or after you've just spent a couple hours thinking about something that you don't like, I don't know, watching the news or something. Try going and getting into bed and forcing yourself to stop thinking about that. It's very challenging. You want to just keep thinking about whatever you were thinking about until you pass out. That's my experience. Good, bad, whatever. You kind of just want to, it's effort to interrupt that and do something else. But for 10 days, I think, or maybe 2 weeks, I don't know. It wasn't very long before I got bored and moved on like I do. I did this. I fell asleep specifically feeling, a feeling that I'm familiar with, where I've had a very successful day, where I had planned to do a lot of different things that needed to be done, where I had planned to, not do things I shouldn't do, or I had planned to do chores that needed to be done. And I got everything done. And at the end of the day, it was a great feeling. I was just I did everything that I set out to do today. Everything worked out. I obeyed myself today. I was in control today. And look what I got done. Just this really good feeling of accomplishment and success. And so I know what that feels like. And so no matter what was happening for 2 weeks, I generated that feeling, which was kind of a happy, excited, positive expectancy, because, when you get everything done you're supposed to do, you kind of expect that those things will produce good results in the future. So just sort of a happy, positive expectancy, feeling proud of myself, feeling accomplished. Fell asleep like that for a couple of weeks. I made a video about the results. I will link to it below. Just listen to the part of that video where I talked about my experience. You can discard the rest. In fact, you know what? I think I'll edit that video down and repost it. That's what I'm going to do. So I'll link to that also. But it was very interesting. It produced, it was like my life just started to work beautifully, effortlessly. Anything that I didn't want to do, I've been kind of in that state lately too, if you've watched my recent videos. It just everything worked out. If there was a chore I didn't want to do, somebody else would do it, or if there was an event I didn't want to attend, it would just get canceled, or I would go to it and I would be like, oh my God, I'm so glad I went to that. It was so fun. Or I met some, it was just I was just sort of going through my day to day, and it was proving this to me. I don't remember the exact details, but the video has it. So I will, okay. Bible verses incoming. He that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Nevertheless, he giveth his beloved sleep. You can look at, those are Psalms. The subconscious never sleeps. Sleep is the door through which the conscious, waking mind passes to be creatively joined to the subconscious. Sleep conceals the creative act, while the objective world reveals it. In sleep, man impresses the subconscious with his conception of himself. What more beautiful description of this romance of the conscious and subconscious is there than that told in the Song of Solomon? By night on my bed, I sought him whom my soul loveth. I found him whom my soul loveth. I held him, and I not let him go, until I had brought him into my mother's house, and into the chamber of her that conceived me. Okay, preparing to sleep, you feel yourself into the state of the answered wish, and then relax into unconsciousness. Your realized wish is he whom you seek. By night on your bed, you seek the feeling of the wish fulfilled, that you may take it with you into the chamber of her that conceived you, into sleep or the subconscious which gave you form, that this wish also may be given expression. This is the way to discover and conduct your wishes into the subconscious. Feel yourself in the state of the realized wish and quietly drop off to sleep. Night after night, you should assume the feeling of being, having, and witnessing that which you seek to be, possess, and see manifested. Never go to sleep feeling discouraged or dissatisfied. Never sleep in the consciousness of failure. Your subconscious, whose natural state is sleep, sees you as you believe yourself to be, and whether it good, bad, or indifferent, the subconscious will faithfully embody your belief. As you feel, so do you impress her, and she, the perfect lover, gives form to these impressions and outpictures them as the children of her beloved. Thou art all fair, my love, there is no spot in thee, is the attitude of mind to adopt before dropping off to sleep. Disregard appearances and feel that things are as you wish them to be, for he calleth things that are not seen as though they were, and the unseen becomes seen. To assume the feeling of satisfaction is to call conditions into being which will mirror your satisfaction. Signs follow, they do not precede. I'm sure you've heard that one if you've been in the manifestation community. Proof that you are will follow the consciousness that you are. It will not precede it. Okay, so let's just talk about that for a second. Signs follow, they do not precede. That means that after you become the thing, you will see the thing in the outer world. That's what it means, and that's all it means. You are an eternal dreamer. I'm sorry, I'm so judgmental. You are an eternal dreamer, dreaming non-eternal dreams. Your dreams take form as you assume the feeling of their reality. Do not limit yourself to the past. Knowing that nothing is impossible to consciousness, begin to imagine states beyond the experiences of the past. Whatever the mind of man can imagine, man can realize. All objective, visible states were first subjective, invisible states, and you called them into the visible by assuming the feeling of their reality. That doesn't mean that they appear out of thin air necessarily. Maybe they can, but I want to be clear about this, because people turn this into a fantasy when it's very practical and realistic. Look around you. Probably everything you're looking at, unless you're in the middle of like a jungle or some, ancient woods, everything around you has been shaped by a thought that was in a man's head or a woman's head. Everything you see. This grass didn't used to be here. These sidewalks didn't used to be here. These buildings didn't used to be here. These trees were planted by a man. Everything you see was once just an idea in somebody's head. And it's a lot easier, I think, to say, okay, well, somebody decided to plant a bush here. That's not that hard, but it's everything. Everything is that way. All objective visible states were once subjective invisible states, and you/man called them into visible by assuming the feeling of their reality. I can do this, I can plant this bush, here it is. This bush is planted. The creative process is first imagining and then believing the state imagined. Always imagine and expect the best. The world cannot change until you change your conception of it. As within, so without. Nations, as well as people, are only what you believe them to be. No matter what the problem is, no matter where it is, no matter whom it concerns, you have no one to change but yourself, as you have neither opponent nor helper in bringing about the change within yourself. You have nothing to do but convince yourself of the truth of that which you desire to see manifested. If you want to see peace in the world, become peaceful. Be in a state of peace. That's my edit. As soon as you succeed in convincing yourself of the reality of the state sought, results follow to confirm your fixed belief. It's getting a little sunny in here. You never suggest to another the state which you desire to see him express. Instead, you convince yourself that he is already that which you desire him to be. Okay, there is one of my most hated lines in all of Neville Goddard because of what people have done with it. Okay, you convince yourself that he is already that which you desire him to be. So somebody who's very unsuccessful that you care about, I'm gonna have to back my car up. Somebody that is very unsuccessful that you care about, convince yourself that they are capable of being successful. Convince yourself that they're already successful. Convince yourself that they have it in them to be successful. See them as successful already. Don't tell yourself this person's hopeless. This person, there's no hope. This person will never change. There's no benefit from that, because the best you could be doing is keeping that person in that state. If you want to take that to mean that as long as you convince yourself that like Justin Bieber wants to be your husband, then he will be, that's just not an area I'm willing to go into, and you're welcome to do that if you like. Okay, realization of your wish is accomplished by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You cannot fail unless you fail to convince yourself of the reality of your wish. A change of belief is confirmed by a change of expression. Every night, as you drop off to sleep, feel satisfied and spotless, for your subjective lover always forms the objective world in the image and likeness of your conception of it, the conception defined by your feeling. The waking 2/3 of your life on earth ever corroborates or bears witness to your subconscious impressions. The actions and events of the day are effects. They are not causes. Free will is only freedom of choice. Choose ye this day whom ye shall serve. Is your freedom to choose the kind of mood you assume, take on. But the expression of the mood is the secret of the subconscious. The subconscious receives impressions only through the feelings of man, and in a way known only to itself, gives these impressions form and expression. The actions of man are determined by his subconscious impressions. His illusion of free will, his belief in freedom of action, is but ignorance of the causes which make him act. He thinks himself free because he has forgotten the link between himself and the event. Man awake is under compulsion to express his subconscious impressions. If in the past he unwisely impressed himself, then let him begin to change his thought and feeling, for only as he does so will he change his world. Do not waste one moment in regret, for to think feelingly of the mistakes of the past is to reinfect yourself. Let the dead bury the dead. Turn from appearances and assume the feeling that would be yours were you already the one you wish to be. Feeling a state produces that state. The part you play on the world stage is determined by your concept. Oh my God. Let's just start over with this paragraph. Feeling a state produces that state. The part you play on the world stage is determined by your conception of yourself. By feeling your wish fulfilled and quietly relaxing into sleep, you cast yourself in a star role to be played on earth tomorrow. And while asleep, you are rehearsed and instructed in your part. The acceptance of the end automatically wills the means of realization. You don't need to mess with the middle. You don't need to figure out how. The acceptance of the end automatically wills the means of realization. Make no mistake about this. If, as you prepare for sleep, you do not consciously feel yourself into the state of the answered wish, then you will take with you into the chamber of her who conceived you the sum total of reactions and feelings of the waking day, and while asleep, you will be instructed in the manner in which they will be expressed tomorrow. You will rise believing that you are a free agent, not realizing that every action and event of the day is predetermined by your concept of self as you fell asleep. Your only freedom then is your freedom of reaction. You are free to choose how you feel and react to the day's drama, but the drama, the actions, events, and circumstances of the day have already been determined. Unless you consciously and purposely define the attitude of mind with which you go to sleep, you unconsciously go to sleep in the composite attitude of mind made up of all feelings and reactions of the day. Every reaction makes a subconscious impression and, unless counteracted by an opposite and more dominant feeling, is the cause of future action. Ideas enveloped in feeling are creative actions. Use your divine right wisely. Through your ability to think and feel, you have dominion over all creation. I'm stumbling over my words because I'm thinking about all the like the last two paragraphs that were read here about you will rise believing you are a free agent, not realizing that every action and event of the day is predetermined. And what else did it say? Basically, you will think that you have free will, but you don't. And I don't know much about this scientifically, but I remember reading something not long ago about brain scans or MRIs or something that they were doing while people were making decisions that showed that before you even consciously said, I'm choosing this thing, that your brain showed you had already chosen it, which to me falls right in line with this, that you're having the experience of free will, but you actually don't have any in your waking day. That this is true. It's already been predetermined by your self-concept. Once you understand this, like to any degree, how can you much care about anything happening in the world? Like, how can you really give a shit? Like, if you know that it's all coming from you, there's like nothing to do besides, there's nothing and no one to change but self. Okay. Ideas enveloped in feeling are creative actions. Use your divine right wisely. Through your ability to think and feel, you have dominion over all creation. While you are awake, you are a gardener selecting seed for your garden. But except a corn of wheat fall into the ground and die, it abideth alone. But if it die, it bringeth forth much fruit. I'm sorry, I'm not a Bible person. Your conception of yourself as you fall asleep is the seed you drop into the ground of the subconscious. Dropping off to sleep feeling satisfied and happy compels conditions and events to appear in your world, which confirm these attitudes of mind. Sleep is the door into heaven. What you take in as a feeling, you bring out as a condition, action, or object in space. So sleep in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. As in consciousness, so on earth. And when I think about why is it, if this is true, and I know this is true, why don't I do this more often? Why do I just go to sleep? I guess most nights I feel pretty peaceful when I'm going to sleep, but why would I ever go to sleep angry or whatever? And my answer to that is that people, I think, like to experience the downsides of things. I mean, that's something I never see talked about in any of these things, is that other than in Busting Loose from the Money Game and his subsequent book that's like kind of like an enlightenment book. As funny as that is to say. That's the only place I've seen talked about that you are actually really enjoying this drama, and that's why, you don't want all this negative contrast to go away. Anyway, okay, we are on page 38 of 48 in this PDF, so I'm just going to keep going. Chapter 3, Prayer. Prayer, like sleep, is also an entrance into the subconscious. When you pray, enter into your closet, and when you have shut your door, pray to your Father which is in secret, and your Father which is in secret shall reward you openly. That is a Bible verse. Prayer is an illusion of sleep, which diminishes the impression of the outer world and renders the mind more receptive to suggestion from within. The mind in prayer is in a state of relaxation and receptivity, akin to the feeling attained just before dropping off to sleep. Prayer is not so much what you ask for as how you prepare for its reception. Whatsoever things ye desire, that when ye pray, believe that you have received them, and ye shall have them. The only condition required is that you believe that your prayers are already realized. Your prayer must be answered if you assume the feeling that would be yours were you already in possession of your objective. The moment you accept the wish as an accomplished fact, the subconscious finds the means for its realization. To pray successfully, then, you must yield to the wish. That is, feel the wish fulfilled. The perfectly disciplined man is always in tune with the wish as an accomplished fact. He knows that consciousness is the one and only reality, that ideas and feelings are facts of consciousness and are as real as objects in space. Therefore, he never entertains a feeling which does not contribute to his happiness, for feelings are the cause of the actions and circumstances of his life. Pause. I want to relate this to A Course in Miracles. Okay, what's Neville saying here? So A Course in Miracles is basically giving you all the tools that you need to never be existing in a state of grievance against another person. It's basically giving you a state of peace. A perfect state of peace is the perfect state of the wish fulfilled. So if you're thinking this is all boring stuff, or like something not worth doing, like it'd be more exciting to try to manifest a car than to try to get into the state from which you basically have a genie in a bottle with unlimited wishes, then you're insane. I just wanted to say that bluntly, because from this state of peace, not only are your desires and everything aligned with everything good, but it's like instant manifestation of things. It's like, or unless if you're like me and you're afraid of instant manifestations, then okay, it's a manifestation that takes 3 days or a week or something. But I wanted to relate this to A Course in Miracles since I've been making a bunch of content about that lately. Neville is basically saying the perfectly disciplined man is always in tune with the wish as an accomplished fact. So what's the feeling of the wish fulfilled? The feeling of the wish fulfilled is fulfillment, satisfaction, no desire, no lack, positive expectancy. You don't even need to feel it in relation to the thing you want. If you just feel that all the time, then the desire you get is just fulfilled, because there's nothing standing between it and its fulfillment. And A Course in Miracles is, it's working with the human psychology and some other stuff to get you into that state. They're perfect for each other. Okay, on the other hand, the undisciplined man finds it difficult to believe that which is denied by the senses, and usually accepts or rejects solely on appearances of the senses. Because of this tendency to rely on the evidence of the senses, it is necessary to shut them out before starting to pray, before attempting to feel that which they deny. Whenever you are in the state of mind, I should like to, but I cannot, the harder you try, the less you are able to yield to the wish. You never attract that which you want, but always attract that which you are conscious of being. Prayer is the art of taking on the feeling of being and having that which you want. When the senses confirm the absence of your wish, all conscious effort to counteract this suggestion is futile and tends to intensify the suggestion. So you don't want to look directly at the thing that is giving you the idea you're never going to get what you want and try to go, no, I'm going to get what I want. No, I'm going to get what I want. Neville is saying, turn away from that and block that out before trying to do this. Prayer is the art of yielding to the wish and not the forcing of the wish. Whenever your feeling is in conflict with your wish, feeling will be the victor. The dominant feeling invariably expresses itself. Prayer must be without effort. In attempting to fix an attitude of mind which is denied by the senses, effort is fatal. To yield successfully to the wish as an accomplished fact, You must create a passive state, a kind of reverie or meditative reflection similar to the feeling which precedes sleep. In such a relaxed state, the mind is turned from the objective world and easily senses the reality of the subjective state. It is a state in which you are conscious and quite able to move or open your eyes, but have no desire to do so. An easy way to create this passive state is to relax in a comfortable chair or on a bed. If on a bed, lie flat on your back with your head on a level with your body. Close the eyes and imagine that you are sleepy. Feel, I am sleepy, so very sleepy. In a little while, a faraway feeling, accompanied by a general lassitude and loss of all desire to move, envelops you. You feel a pleasant, comfortable rest, and not inclined to alter your position, although under other circumstances you would not be at all comfortable. When this passive state is reached, imagine that you have realized your wish. Not how it was realized, but simply the wish fulfilled. Imagine in picture form what you desire to achieve in life. Then feel yourself as having already achieved it. Thoughts produce tiny little speech movements which may be heard in the passive state of prayer as pronouncements from without. However, this degree of passivity is not essential to the realization of your prayers. All that is necessary is to create a passive state and feel the wish fulfilled. All you can possibly need or desire is already yours. You need no helper to give it to you. It is yours now. Call your desires into being by imagining and feeling your wish fulfilled. As the end is accepted, you become totally indifferent as to possible failure, for acceptance of the end wills the means to that end. When you emerge from the moment of prayer, it is as though you were shown the happy and successful end of a play, although you were not shown how that end was achieved. However, having witnessed the end, regardless of any anticlimactic sequence, you remain calm and secure in the knowledge that the end has been perfectly defined. So that means as you see things happening in your outer world that seem to be very much not in alignment with you getting what you want, you remain calm because you've already felt and seen that it will happen. That's the challenge. I like how that's just tossed out there like, this is what'll happen. All right, we're on page 45 of 48. We're almost done. Chapter 4, Spirit, Feeling. Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, saith the Lord of hosts. Get into the spirit of the state desired by taking on, the feeling that will be yours, were you already the one you want to be. As you capture the feeling of the state sought, you are relieved of all effort to make it so, for it is already so. There is a definite feeling associated with every idea in the mind of man. Capture the feeling associated with your realized wish by assuming the feeling that would be yours, were you already in possession of the thing you desire, and your wish will objectify itself. Faith is a feeling, but faith is feeling. According to your faith, feeling, be it unto you. You never attract that which you want, but always that which you are. As a man is, so does he see. A Course in Miracles is all about that. To him that hath, it shall be given, and to him that hath not, it shall be taken away. I actually do like that Bible verse because that makes perfect sense. That which you feel yourself to be, you are. And you are given that which you are. So assume the feeling that would be yours, were you already in possession of your wish, and your wish must be realized. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus, who being in the form of God, thought it not robbery to be equal with God. You are that which you believe yourself to be. Instead of believing in God or in Jesus, believe you are God or you are Jesus. He that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also. Should be, he that believes as I believe the works that I do, shall he do also. He believes, oh my God, he that believes as I believe the works that I do, shall he do also. I was going to just not read all of these for this exact reason, but whatever. Jesus found it not strange to do the works of God because he believed himself to be God. I and my Father are one. It is natural to do the works of the one you believe yourself to be. It is natural to do the works of the one you believe yourself to be. So living in the feeling of being the one you want to be, you guys, I really apologize. So live in the feeling of being the one you want to be, and that you shall be. And that you shall be. When a man believes in the value of the advice given him and applies it, he establishes within himself the reality of success. That is the end of this book. And every word of that, I believe, is true. That's been my experience. I understand what it's saying, more or less. And I hope you do too, because it's really pretty basic. It's, I think as you think about this stuff and live your life thinking about this stuff, you will notice that it is true. That's generally how it works. You know, where you put your focus and attention is where you'll see things. And man, you know, if you're I hate to discourage anybody who's like young to study like A Course in Miracles, but I'm just going based off my own experience with that. So keep that in mind when I say this. But I think if you're older, if you've had some life experience and you're hitting that sort of mid-age area where you start questioning what in the hell everything is, and looking around at everything and assessing everything, I think you're really at a good point to start to put all this stuff together. That your state is what's creating everything. I mean, this isn't even anything new. This is stuff that all of our parents, I think, most people have a parent or a grandparent or somebody who was full of these little, rebuttals and responses and one-line sayings, just basically telling you, hey, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way is one of the most common sayings, I think, that I've ever heard. And that is precisely what this is saying. If you want something and you believe it, and you get that feeling in you that you're going to get it, a way will be made. Sometimes in an incredibly shocking, improbable, unlikely way, that you will clearly see. And if you're me, you'll probably continue to doubt, oh, that was a coincidence. But anyway, I really wanted to read this book. I really wanted everybody to hear this book, since everybody is, I think, sort of using Neville as their understanding of Neville that they've heard through other people. It's good to hear, it's good to hear it from the horse's mouth. So anyway, I really hope that helped anybody, and that you enjoyed it, and have a great day.